I've always despised the disposable battery. Its existence is so trivial. It's used up, then disposed of, used up, then disposed of in a device. It's such a nuisance to use. I was very happy to see its successor, the built-in rechargeable battery, come along. I thought we would first see the same types of batteries, but you have to manually take them out and recharge them first before we got to that development. But it's much better that way, and these ones are gone, thank goodness. Mostly these batteries used to cost a lot, and now you can get them from China for really cheap, or the dollar store. But before about 2005 and previous, they were pretty expensive, costly, or I should say, and they didn't come in many brands. Not many companies sold them. There was only a few major brands, and then came along eBay, where you could have found all these no-name brands at very cheap prices, and it was very exciting to be able to buy a ton of batteries for cheap. It made the expense of using battery operated devices a non-issue, and for a time the prices for batteries dipped drastically, and these ones I got from eBay, quadruple A batteries, in 2002. It was a big mistake buying them. They were one size too small for what I intended them for, but that's how young people are. I was kind of young back then, in my early 20s, and unthinking, not willing to take the time to investigate, or too lazy, in other words, to get off my bum and look at what is actually required. That's the way young people, at least that's the way I did things when I was young. I would just assume, guesstimate things rather than be factual, look at the find evidence of what I needed, of what the things are, and just wing it most of the time. But as your brain develops, you start knowing what you do know and what you don't know. But I figured even if they were the wrong size, I would encounter a use for these batteries at some time, but during all those years, about 17 years, never have I encountered a time when I needed quadruple A batteries. Never found anything that uses them. They're very tiny, and yeah, it's not used often with anything, these batteries. The second most used batteries are AAA. They're used in remote controls, and that's what I originally wanted the batteries for. And most other devices actually use AA batteries, which I never thought. I always, at that time, I thought were way too big, but that's the way we operate sometimes with false perceptions. These things have exploded in that time. You can see they're leaking. One, it's burned, the packaging is burned for chemical burns. All of them have practically leaked. Got their cathodes. They're tainted with chemical powders. And yeah, these are the oldest I have. And these ones too have kind of leaked. I want to touch these without gloves. This one, never got to use these AAAs. See if there's an expiry date. 2012. These will be going to the garbage. I suppose you can't store them. You can't keep them as antiques, I'm pretty sure. And these ones expire, let's see, 2013. Just one left in this one. This one, these are still good, but they expire 2016. These haven't leaked. I'm not sure if it's safe or not to use expired batteries. I don't know what the consequences would be. I should research that, but I dispose of them in a moral way. I know I'm never gonna see or encounter, to word it more properly, a garbage dump. Yeah, that's completely removed from me, the reality of what happens to the garbage. I'm completely isolated, and as most people are in civilized society, from what happens to the garbage. I just throw things out and forget them, but you are advised to dispose of them in a safe way, not in the regular garbage. And there's special facilities that take them, and there's certain hardware stores where you can provide them. I send them to, and they'll take them and dispose of them properly. But like I say, even though I don't know what happens in garbage dumps, if since their garbage dumps are toxic in themselves, but these are harmful to the environment, and I decided since I learned that you aren't supposed to dispose of them with the general garbage, that I will dispose of them properly, because I don't want to cause harm to the environment. I want to be a conscientious user. Maybe in the long scheme of things, my safeguarding of the environment has very little impact, but with everyone else who takes these precautions, added together, it will be a big difference. I might be a minimal component of that group effort, but nonetheless an essential one. Here I still got all the batteries I have ever used in this drawer, and I'm gonna dispose of them in the next day or two. A lot of these maybe 20 years old. Keep them in bags, and you can see there's chemical leaks everywhere. Here there's powder. I don't know how toxic this stuff is. I'm surprised it didn't erupt in flames. I always expected them to be a fire hazard, but no, they never smoked or heated up or anything, from what I can tell. But there's lots of leakage, you can see. So I tried to get one of the less toxic ones with no toxic chemicals, which are safe to dispose of in the regular garbage. And here are they. These ones I've had since 2002, when I got those other ones. These are the ones I got in place of the other ones when I realized or I should say when I found out more correctly what the size of batteries I actually wanted. And I've had these since that time, and they're still good to go. They're disposable. I in a regular garbage, they don't got any toxic components in them, and surprisingly they haven't leaked yet. I've kept them mostly loose, laying around everywhere. I bought a pack of 40 for a really good price. I mean, really cheap, probably like $10. And I've been using them ever since, and I have never run out of them, although I used other brands as well. But I still got plenty. I mean, not plenty, maybe a handful and they'll probably be done in this year. I thought we would first go through a phase where we would see the batteries in this format, but where they would be rechargeable. I even got a recharger for rechargeable batteries, and the traditional format. Let me see if I can find it. I'm doing a cleanup, as you can see. Still lots of work to go. Can't believe how much things I've accumulated and how much time it's taken me to organize everything. Let's see if I can find the recharger. I know I got it somewhere. Oh, here it is. This is the charger. Again, the convenience isn't very much with these. It's still a nuisance. You have to take the batteries out, plug this thing in, and then charge them for who knows how many hours. I never used this. The batteries for them, I don't know what happened to it. They require special batteries. Overall, a hassle. So I never got to using them, and given the electrical energy efficiency of devices that developed, they became less of a necessity to have rechargeable batteries for those devices. You know, disposable ones lasted really long with these devices like remote controls and calculators, so they never really caught on. And now we got built-in rechargeable batteries with USB plugs, and those are not the way of the future, but they're what is today, and they're very convenient and adequate. The future is contactless charging of batteries. You just put the device near the charger, and they charge the batteries. The charger charges the batteries through the air, amazingly. And I got one thing that has this technology. It is the Sphero toys, and those ones are charged contactlessly. You just put the balls on the charger and they charge, and that's the way they work. And the thing, it's the same concept why I think the electrical vehicles are much more better than gas consuming vehicles. It's like the changing batteries when you with these traditional cars. You have to, it's like, except you don't have to throw the batteries out, which is a plus, but you always have to replace the battery every time. When now that there's electrical vehicles, you just plug it in, and you don't have to go to the store to buy your battery, in the form of gas. You just it's like charging a phone. You just charge, you plug in the car into the outlet, and that's it. It's like charging a phone, and that's one of the pluses of electrical EVs, electrical vehicles. And it's more than clear to me they are the way of the future. They are the future. A lot of the major car companies, or should I say all of them, are coming out with electrical vehicles this year, 2019, which have hundreds of miles of range and with each charge, and they charge quite quickly, and there's plenty of charging stations. Once charging become contactless, that will be the sweet spot. Maybe you go to a parking lot, and the chargers will be built into the parking spot, and it just you just enter into a computer system that you want it charged at that given time, and it will just charge while you're out and about doing whatever. Yeah, the battery technology is advancing nicely with everything else, and I am so very, very glad to see disposable batteries go. Everything I get now, I try to find with rechargeable batteries, USB rechargeable batteries, because it just makes sense. That's how everything should be running, with rechargeable batteries. But I think we still have way too many devices that still require disposable batteries, I guess, to make them more affordable. But especially flashlights, there is no excuse whatsoever that those should be operating with disposable batteries. No, I'm seeing a nice trend with how humanity is progressing into the future, and that is with a reduction in the inefficient use of resources. And with that comes minimalist lifestyle for everyone, because we no longer need so many extra things. Let's see if this battery here has exploded as well. This one expires. Yeah, it has. Well, that's it. We're gonna say goodbye to all of these, and hopefully I will never need to replace them again.